knew it was coming, huh? Yeah. After Kamala blew it on The View. Oh, man, I'm telling you, week after week after week, it gets better and better and better. And now they're up there whining and crying. Because, once again, we told you the check engine light was on. You know, she ain't did her oil change. And Brett Barry, you know, wasn't going to cuddle her. Wasn't going to cuddle her and say, oh, it's okay. We'll get it all. We'll fix it all. No. You know, it got real on Fox News. You know, because we're sick of the crap, Sonny. The View, the spew, the cackling hands. Woo, let's crank it.
I think that there will be people that will change their minds. I think that there will be people that were very shocked at that. I was shocked in real time because you have people that are never Trumpers that watch Fox News. You have independents that watch Fox News. You have Democrats that watch Fox News. So the reason she appeared on Fox News is because she knows that there are openings for her there. But, you know, Brett Baer, he did himself a disservice by doing what he did. He is known for doing the bidding of Fox News, but he ends his show every night as fair, balanced, and unafraid. Well, that was not fair and balanced.
It was. And the world seen it. And actually, everybody's pissed. Her base is pissed. Her voters are pissed. It's everywhere. Everybody's posting on their TikTok, Instagram, their social media pages that, man, Kamala actually isn't qualified. But all I can say is, what did you expect? What did you expect? 0 votes. Most unpopular. But you let the corrupt media, you let the media build a candidate in front of our face. You know, lie after lie. Failed policy. Failures, liars, brainwashing, propaganda. But it's all misinformation. It's all hitting the fan, as you can see, you guys. And we know the women on the spew, and we don't even know how this show is still on air. But again, we know the woke media isn't going anywhere. Disney, ABC, CNN, the alphabet order. You know, the woke media isn't going anywhere. But this show shouldn't even still be on air. And we must send a prayer for anybody that watches this in 2024. These women. Unbelievable.
Kamala's not doing enough press. Then she goes on this huge press tour. She was here with us. I thought she was fantastic. She was energetic. The crowd went wild.
She said she was Joe Biden 2.0. That's what I got from that. And that's what everybody else got from it too. What would you have done? And what did she say? Nothing. Would you do anything different than Biden? They said, ma'am, would you do anything different than Joe Biden? She says no. So yeah, Joe Biden 2.0, Sonny. Sonny! Joe Biden 2.0, baby girl.
It was electric. CNN, Democrats grow anxious. Axios, blue wall blues. Fox, Dems are scared to death. No, Dems are not scared to death. Dems are pumped.
No. They're shaking out their shoes, shaking out their boots. Obama says the black vote isn't there anymore. Obama say the energy isn't there like it was when I ran. Obama, Barry, you get Big Mike, you get everybody. Y'all all put your hands behind your back right now. Shame on y'all. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Yeah. And we're going to take Nancy in a separate a squad car. She's coming with us. There wasn't a primary, Nancy. 0 votes.
What I would like the press to talk a little bit more about is Trump is in hiding. He didn't do the 60 Minutes interview. He does not want to do another debate.
Yeah, we know why. Yeah. We're not wasting no more time. It's too late. It's too late. Tell the cackling hens it's too late. Y'all tell them it's too late. It's too late. She should have went on Fox September the 4th. What happened? She was hiding. She didn't want to. Trump said, let's do 3 debates. And what happened? She refused to do them.
He's in mental decline. Obama's speech was captivating in Pittsburgh, yet instead of talking about that, we're talking about what he said before the speech to black men. I think that the media has to do a much better job than what they're doing.
I love it, y'all. I love it. I love covering this, man. Oh, man. Boy, we are doing such a service, I tell you. Love to all my brothers and sisters around the world. And I just don't know how anybody can sit up and watch these women in 2024. I just don't see how anybody can watch these women. I'm so sorry. You know, I kind of feel bad for you if you actually watch it. Actually, I don't feel bad for you. You get what you get. You know, life is all about rewards and consequences from your decisions. You know, can't be playing the victim mentality. Can't complain about this, and that because, hey, you sit around and you listen to this crap all day. You know, but that's what we do. We play the victimhood, victim mentality. We get nowhere in life. I couldn't sit up and listen to these women. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Democrats voted.
Donald Trump, 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 and Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
President Biden had a fundraiser debate stage.
Let's go back to Donald
profits.
Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
Shout out to my brother, man. He does an amazing job. Love his shows, man. It's finna get real, y'all. So make sure you hit that like button so more people can see the video. And also, we encourage everybody to go out and vote, man. Go out and vote. I know y'all see, I'm telling y'all, I know y'all see this win. Y'all see the bets, the maps, the polls. And then now they have Trump at a 60%. I don't care. Go out and vote. Go out and vote, you guys. And again, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, baby, so you don't miss a video.
So it's been 24 hours after that heated interview between Kamala Harris and Bret Baier from Fox News. The fallout is definitely worth looking at. Clearly, you're always going to have 2 sides of the story. I say you really have 3. Obviously, if you are conservative, a Trump supporter, it was an embarrassment. I mean, she just got destroyed, right? We got to see her get angry and frustrated, and she blew up. If you're on the left, you're saying, yeah, you know, she bashed Trump all day. She did a great job. This is why people should vote for her. And the third side is, if you're an undecided voter, did this do anything for you? Absolutely not. So what I'm going to do is react to quite a few clips that have come out since that interview and talk about it. Let's start with CNN.
She has no answer for why Biden and Harris threw out Donald Trump's executive orders and changed everything, and then a flood of people came in. An ounce of humility here would go a long way, and she doesn't have it in her to do it, and she has no real answer other than to blame Congress. And Brett was right. Democrats controlled everything when they took over, and so is she saying it's the Democrats' fault that the immigration system is broken? I don't understand this. I don't understand why she can't just say, hindsight here, we shouldn't have done it. I think the American people would actually accept it, but she won't do it.
That issue that he's touching on is an ounce of humility. That's one of the reasons why I believe Bret Baier ended her campaign during that interview, because she refused to do that. She refused to be humble. She refused to accept any responsibility or be held to account, if that's the best way to say it. And if you want to see that video, I'll link it in the description below, where I go over the reasons why I believe Bret Baier ended her campaign, but I digress. No, she has no answers. We know this. We do these videos all the time. And during that interview, it was a great opportunity. Bret Baier gave her plenty of times to separate herself from Joe Biden, take responsibility, and lay out a clear vision on why, if you are an undecided voter or a disgruntled Republican, why you should be voting for her. Now, that's just a perspective from a conservative, Scott Jennings. Let's hear the opposite.
Bret Baier was acting a little bit like a Trump surrogate. He is an accomplished journalist with decades of experience, but he knew going into that interview that the Fox viewers wanted to see Harris roasted. He basically had to act as a stand-in for the Trump campaign because that's what his audience wanted. That's the way I see it.
Okay, so clearly he's delusional. It's not that I was really looking for her to be roasted. What I was looking for is someone to legitimately not only ask her the first question, but ask her it again, and then again, like follow up. And that's what CNN Dana Bash failed to do. We saw a little bit of that with 60 Minutes, of course. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. You guys do know that she showed up late at 5:15. Knowing that Bret Baier is going to air this interview at 6 p.m. and they need time to prepare the recording to go live at 6 p.m. And she was supposed to start at 5 p.m. So I don't want to hear, well, you know, he was talking over her and all this other stuff. Well, you guys should have showed up on time. In fact, she should have sat there for at least an hour. Since we're on the topic of people giving delusional takes, let's hear what Sunny Holston had to say about this interview.
Here we go.
I think that there will be people that will change their minds. I think that there will be people that were very shocked at that. I was shocked in real time because you have people that are never Trumpers that watch Fox News. You have independents that watch Fox News. You have Democrats that watch Fox News. So the reason she appeared on Fox News is because she knows that there are openings for her there. But, you know, Bret Baier, he did himself a disservice by doing what he did. He is known for doing the bidding of Fox News, but he ends his show every night as fair, balanced, and unafraid. Well, that was not fair and balanced.
Well, the problem with Sunny Holston's take here is she doesn't understand who the audience is when it comes to Fox News. I'm sure she hasn't looked at the numbers. She probably doesn't even know how they identify conservative, independent, Democrat. What are the percentages there? She doesn't know any of that, right? She's providing an ignorant opinion, in my opinion, no pun intended. But clearly we know that Fox News is made up of majority of conservatives. Like, that's obvious, okay, without even diving into the numbers. But even if we took her word and we said, yeah, there are a lot of independents who watch that show or a lot of undecided voters. If Kamala Harris spent 95% of her time blaming Trump on every single question that was asked, how did she win those over? Please help me understand that.
And I think even most importantly, you know, this notion of humility. You need to be humble. You can't be passionate. What I was really distressed at.
You can't be passionate?
You can't be passionate. It's described as aggressive.
Who
right?
said that?
Well, Dana Perino, right after this panel, offered this very predictable assessment. She said Harris came in hot and then got angrier. It's the angry, it's the angry black woman trope. The bottom line is she was showing passion and a command of the facts.
Yeah, so that is an example of the world that we're living in where one event happens and there's just two different perspectives, right? Clearly, she was worked up in the very beginning. She was not calm. Even if you want to say that she was passionate, you could tell there were times where she was frustrated.
You know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a number? Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point. Okay, the point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
it's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies.
Practically within hours of taking the oath was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the elite. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please?
But
you have to let me finish.
You had the White House and the House and the Senate,
and
they didn't bring up that bill.
I'm in the middle of responding to the point you're raising, and I'd like to finish.
Maybe if she had given Bret Baier more time, like 60 minutes, then maybe he didn't have to rush through it and get to the next question. So that's a bunch of bull, by the way. But of course, those women on The View are going to say that because they look at everything from the identity politics lens and not really from the common sense lens.
That to me, the constant jumping in, I couldn't help but feel it's because she's a woman that he's going to keep doing this. So it got a little hard to watch at times. But I think she did a huge service to herself going exactly where people are. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is canceling interviews from 60 Minutes to CNBC, NBC.
He's been hiding.
And she's going to Fox, where I said this the other day, that you allow yourself to define who you are. If they hear it from your mouth, people aren't just talking about it. So people are going to watch and see how she held her own.
Yeah, so that's, again, this is the times that we live in, where if a woman who's in a leadership position is criticized and she's a person of color, that must mean that either one, I'm sexist, or two, we are racist. When really it's like, hey, if I can't hold her accountable, then why is she in that leadership position to begin with? That is just intellectually lazy. I think that's the best way to put it. So obviously they're just making excuses. But let's hear from Geraldo, who does support Harris, because, you know, he went off the cliff, of course. He has Trump derangement syndrome. And I thought what he said was probably intellectually honest about her performance.
But I still am baffled by the lack of preparation going into a the highest profile interview she has, as you described, Dan, the highest profile interview that she has given. For example, the Democrats knew that immigration was going to be all about immigration. They were going to come out, Brett was going to come out smoking on immigration. You know, to me, that's politics 101. I'm not a politician. I'm not an expert in this, but I know a thing or two about debates, and it just seems to me that she missed an opportunity. Her briefers did, and from this moment on, I advise them to not be the doormat when it comes to this issue. It is their biggest Achilles heel. There's no doubt about it. If Donald Trump wins, it will be largely because of the immigration issue.
Yeah, see, that's the issue that I have with her. You know, as a competitor, I want her to bring her best, right? If we look at this from a sports analogy, and it just seems like either one, she hasn't been practicing, two, she ignored the playbook. She doesn't know the playbook. She hasn't memorized the plays, and she just goes in there trying to wing it and blame Trump for everything. And again, if the goal of the interview was to get voters who are on the fence, this is an utter disaster. And let me show you one more clip of someone who clearly will never vote for Trump, but also does not support Harris, but provides another thoughtful, articulate analysis of what happened here.
The test for both of these campaigns now is to get voters whose choice isn't between Harris and Trump so much as it's between staying home or voting for the candidate that they like. And so in this way, I think the Trump people thought this was a great interview for them. I agree that it was an ink blot. That's why they put out the entire interview on Twitter. And the Harris people think it was a great interview for them because they're trying to speak to different sets of voters. And because it's an ink block, different sets of voters that they're trying to get will see it differently. Where I disagree with Van on this is I think there's some legitimate criticisms about specific choices that Bret Baier made. But I think Bret Baier is a serious journalist. He gave Donald Trump a pretty serious interview, too. I don't think he's comparable to someone like Rachel Maddow. I don't think he was necessarily intending to be disrespectful. I can understand why people would hear it that way because he was worried about her filibustering. I don't think she did a magnificent job. I think she did a conventionally mediocre job, maybe even a bad job, had some good moments.
I think that's the best word, underwhelming, right? She may have gotten angry. She may have shown passion according to The View, but zero substance. And at the heart of the issue when it comes to Kamala Harris's campaign is this big contradiction that exists. Why has she switched up so much on her policy positions? And one in particular that Bret Baier asked her about was the transgender topic. Check out what Sher Michael Singleton had to say about this, which I thought was spot on.
The vice president, once upon a time, supported taxpayer dollars, your money, my money, your money, all the people who are watching, to go towards people who broke the law coming into our country, to give them driver's license, to pay for tuition when we're struggling to pay for our own children to get a college education. Then her own running mate signed into law in his own state these very things that she's now saying she's now against them. And American people are supposed to believe that the vice president has now all of a sudden had an epiphany. And all of a sudden, all of her beliefs have magically changed, yet the guy she chose clearly believes these things. And you're flipping it to Republicans?
Now, before we go any further, if you're getting value from this video, do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you want to support us further, go to the link in the description below. Grab your...
Shout out to my brother, man. You know, I'll tell you, us content creators, independent media, man, we're doing such an amazing job, you guys. You know, and after this election, I pray and hope y'all... I know y'all might not... Can y'all give us our flowers, man? But no, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, man. Everybody that sends us amazing videos, that requests amazing videos, that sends us clips and things that we should be showing out to the public and getting the word out, man. You know, but hey, whether you love us or hate us, we probably won't ever get our flowers, man. You know. But we do have to be careful. With only 19 days out, man. But the censorship has been 50-50. You know, they've been blocking some things, you know, when it comes to certain videos, certain audios, certain visuals. But I would say it hasn't been too crazy as we've seen in the previous, like the previous election. You know, throw the laptop out in the middle of the street. Unbelievable.
Yourself a t-shirt or buy us a cup of coffee. Okay, so there's definitely more reactions than what I showed you in this video, but I think the conclusion is this. Number one, her base is going to be fired up because of this interview. She went to Fox News, credit that she finally did it. I still believe it's too little too late. She should have did this 2 months ago, but hey, that's a whole nother thing. And now they're scrambling at the last minute trying to put her out there. And why is that? That's not for fun, ladies and gentlemen. She's going on Fox News. She's making all of these media appearances. She spent almost the past week with the black community. Why? Because the internal polls shows that she's falling behind. She's not where she needs to be. So that's point number one. Point number two, her campaign, they are just as guilty as Trump's campaign at using dirty tactics. Okay, whatever they accuse Trump of doing, yeah, they're doing it too, by the way. They're trying to do whatever they can to win this election. And part of that is trying to ice Brett Baier and show up late to the interview and then cry foul because he had to rush through the questions. I mean, that is just absolutely a dirty tactic, okay? And it blew up on them, depending on what side, of course, you're on when it comes to this whole conversation. And finally, this interview is just an additional confirmation of what has always been the problem with her campaign. We don't know where she truly stands on anything, whether it is fracking, the Green New scam, right? Taxes, foreign policy. She can barely even explain that, by the way. The economy, immigration or border security, right? I mean, all of these different topics, it is very fuzzy. The only thing that you could say, I believe, is clear when it comes to Kamala Harris is her stance on abortion and that it's a free-for-all. There should be no restrictions whatsoever. I know that is very clear from her end. I know that for a fact, and that is my opinion. So what do you guys think about some of these delusional takes, especially from The View? You know they were going to cry sexism every
single time. We know about The View. I don't see how anybody can sit up and watch. I just don't see how anybody watches those women in 2024 and how the show isn't canceled. You know? And it's sad, man. It's a disgrace. And then knowing the history behind The View. Once you know the history, and then you go back and see how much they used to love Trump. I tell you, politics is a dirty game, man. Politics is a dirty game. But I'm done again, y'all. I know you've been seeing the landslide. Trump has it in the bag. The polls are now showing this and that. Every time Kamala goes out and speak, or they put her out on camera, it gets worse and worse and worse. But we cannot get complacent, you guys. Go out and vote. We encourage all y'all to go out and vote. Huge shout out to my brother for an amazing video. Has an amazing show. Make sure you go check him out. But man, it has to be too big to rig, you guys. And I believe it's going to be too big to rig, man. And I honestly think after everything we've seen, how can anybody go out and vote for that? You know, they should be ashamed of themselves. They could have did better. You know, and then it makes you think, man, but wasn't before, you know, Biden blew the motor and transmission, wasn't they saying that, you know, if Biden was to drop out, we can't have her on the ticket? You know, we can't have her on the ticket. Top Democrats were saying we cannot have her on the ticket. She will not do well. And look how this has played out these last 3 months. Look. Oh, shit. You know, you could be blind or whatever and still and just hear what's happening. You're like, what? The lady can't answer a question. She repeats the same thing, word salad after word salad. She can't go off script. Can't go off a I mean, man, the teleprompter shuts down. That's it. It's lie after lie, attack Trump, but let's just blame Trump. You know, we can't figure out, we don't know. Let's just play the blame game. We don't got anything else to do. So let's just throw it on Trump. It's Trump's fault. Trump's the bad guy. He's the felon. You know? Anyways, y'all. The circus continues and we're sending our prayers for Trump, man. Prayers for Trump. Prayers for you guys and your family. You know, we don't know what to expect next in these dark times. They're just dark times, man. Disgraceful times. You know, in this short time tower that we do live in. You know, I'm wishing the best in everybody's life. I don't give a damn if you're conservative, liberal, you know, in the middle, on this side or this side, blue, red, Republican, Democrat. I don't give a. I'm wishing the best in everybody's life and that we bring common sense back, man. That we can cut down these prices, that we get them tax cuts, that, you know, we have safe borders, that we have a border. That there isn't men and women sports. You know, just common sense stuff. That there isn't any wars. Common sense stuff, man. Peace and love. That we the people stop coming last. We didn't send billions over here, wars, illegals. But we the people come last. That's my issue, man. Veterans out on the street. Millions are struggling, dying, trying to get by. We the people come last. And you see what everybody's talking about, what the voters are talking about. And the ones who are not talking about it and they are going for Kamala, they just hate Trump. Simple. We see it. We see the difference. They just hate Trump. They say that they hate that Trump talks like this or he responds or types or tweets like that. Trump derangement syndrome. But come to find out, he's actually been right about almost everything. He's been right about the fake news, the enemy of the people. And now look, bias reporting, fake headlines, things just hit the fan. It's just crap. He's been right about all of it. The economy, the border. You know, with everything. And some of the stuff that he was talking about probably wouldn't even be really been talked about now if Trump wouldn't have said anything about it. Let's be honest. As they try to do the hides and the cover-ups, you know, it's just crap, man. It's crap. But enough of me yapping and japping. Breathe, Rick, breathe. To them beautiful patriots around the world, breathe. 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 We send our prayers to Trump, man, his team, his campaign, his family, his protection. And we pray that it looks like it's going to be too big to rig, but we pray it's too big to rig and that you guys actually go out and vote. Thank y'all for sending me pictures. Some of my early voters, man, have already been sending me pictures and man, we've been rocking and rolling, y'all. So we're going to keep up the great fight, man. He took a bullet for you and I. Don't let him forget. Don't let him bury that. He took a bullet for you and I. They don't want the man alive. I love y'all, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.